Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the overview of week 4. Well, let's first look to the syllabus. Well, this week, basically, first there are some assignments for which the deadline is passed. And there are some assignments which are kind of new source of assignments. There are assignments you haven't seen before. So let's wait the computer. So let's go down. So this week, the discussion 1, project 2, review of project 1 is opened. The quiz of chapter 1, chapter 2, project 1, introduction and feedback. These 5 assignments are closed. I have heard from a few of you that the feedback 1 was closed too yesterday on Sunday. So I will look to it, and I think I will reopen probably the feedback 1 on Tuesday. I will make a separate announcement on this issue on Tuesday. Wait that announcement, and I will basically grade the introduction, feedback 1, and project 1 this week. Well, from introduction and feedback 1, basically you will get 1 point as long as you wrote a response and your response is something meaningful. Let's go down. So, chapter 3, feedback 2, and chapter 3, feedback 2, and peer review will be closed this Sunday. So peer review is basically you have only 1 week for it. For discussion and project on Ricardo or Ricardian model, you have basically 2 weeks. This week you don't have any topic. I haven't opened quiz of new topic. Instead of that, you have 1 project and discussion. Let's look first to the peer review before we look anything else. Well, kind of there was a peer review option available through Canvas, but I wasn't sure how, and I could not get sufficient information on how basically that software works. So instead of using the software for peer review, I have opened a separate thread on peer review, which is this one. So what you need to do is basically you can only write peer reviews if you have done the project 1. So peer reviews are only open for the people, peer reviews on specific projects are only open for the people who have done those projects. And basically, if you click here, there is a list on which there will be a list downloaded, on which basically it's written which person should do peer review for which other person. So you will see it in a minute. Well, you will see, for example, the person who is written as the first name here is the person who will do the peer review, and the second person is whose assignment that person should review. And you should look to the projects and see the response of that particular person, and then basically you should write something about the importance of the data chosen by your peer, short evaluation of the presentation of the data, basically the graph, but to what extent it is useful, and you should also write potential ways that graph could be improved, maybe something that can be added or something that might improve the visuality. And then you should write also an evaluation on the paragraph that describes and discusses the data. And basically you can go to the discussions and you can go to the discussions, and from there you can go to the let's wait. Then you should go down, and this is the project. And once you find, you open the project thread, you can find the comment of the person you are going to review. Yes, by going down, you can mount. Well, I haven't posted any reply as my representative student. So that's why I am not able to see the comments. But in case you have posted something under this discussion thread, you should be able to view the comments. So that's for the peer review. You basically have also a new one. Let's say the assignments. We have also a new project on Ricardo and a discussion. So the project basically demands you to prepare a small presentation on the Ricardian model. The details are written on it. Let's look to it. To summarize the model, create, present, and discuss a hypothetical numerical example, summarize and discuss the empirical evidence which you can find in your book, but you might also, if you want to look for something on internet and use what you have found, you are welcome to do that. And then you are expected to evaluate the model and discuss to what extent you think it is useful and relevant. So you need to prepare PowerPoint presentation with 8 slides, and pay attention to the structure and clarity of your argument, and save your PowerPoint slides as PDF. And this is how this is basically well, kind of a clarification on how I will do the grading. So last assignment is the discussion, where you are basically asked to find an article on the effects of trade, international trade, on on a country of your choice, and it's pretty much broad. You can focus, find an article that focuses on a two-country relation, maybe the effect of Chinese trade on United States or US trade on China. You can look for a specific commodity market, for example, how agricultural sector is affected by international trade. You can look to a certain parameter, for example, unemployment. So it's pretty much broad. So you are expected to find that article and write, summarize the article and discuss it. And then you are also expected to write comments on two other articles your peers have found. So this is basically discussion, and you can read the details, and in case you have any questions, you can ask. Lastly, I should say that on discussion thread, there is a specific thread where you can see information on the course paper option. So in this course, you basically are able to write a course paper instead of final, and this one gives information on the course paper. Well, course paper, if you want to write course paper, there are various different type of tasks, which mostly have not that much weight. However, those basic documents which you should submit before you submit the course paper basically gives you feedback and helps you to prepare a better course paper. So there is some work to do if you choose the course paper option. Well, if you already study for the finals, for the final, maybe you might think writing final might be an easier option. But first, writing a course paper is an experience you might have in this course, and which might help you, especially if you want to follow a research career. Also, I personally think the work itself is not necessarily that hard, even though it might need some planning, since there are various type of documents you should send. 4 or 5 times throughout the semester, maybe 6. So, it's an option. You are the one who should decide whether you will write a course paper or not. So this is basically the overview of the week 4. In case you have any questions, any more questions you can ask. And in case you have any questions, especially on discussion and course paper,